Our next summit speaker is the founder and the CEO of Leading Marketing Solutions, a marketing consulting firm working with business owners to help them grow their exposure, attract new clients, and get a greater return of investments on their marketing budget. Our guest is an empowered woman who's passionate about helping business owners achieve their business goals and build the business that they have always envisioned. She does this by providing business and marketing consulting services, planning and hosting various events, public speaking, and even writing. VirtualPreneurs, we're excited to have a passionate digital marketing expert to be our next speaker. Everyone, digital marketing expert, Sonda Eunus. Hello, Sonda.
Thank you so much, Ruben.
Sonda, where are you
passionate introduction.
Right where are you located right now?
I'm in Ocala, Florida.
So how's COVID-19 in your area?
So we have been told that it will hit us the most in mid-May. At this point, we do have a stay-at-home order. So we are, the essential businesses are still working. And then, of course, grocery stores are open, so we can go to those, or, people can go to medical clinics if necessary. But quite honestly, I still see the same amount of traffic outside. So I don't know if people are following, but for now, we've been okay. I think we have a little over 100 cases, positive cases, which is low compared to larger cities. We never know how it's going to hit us or how it's going to come back, especially I know that the beaches were just reopened in Jacksonville, which of course I don't really agree with, but I put that on my Facebook, and then some people did not agree with me. So I guess there's, this, but I kind of feel like it's too early just because we haven't peaked yet and our numbers aren't going down yet. So we're definitely, there's a lot of conflict here in Florida just because I don't think people are taking this as seriously as they should be. Being from New York and having a lot of friends in New York, I know that things are bad, and even my father had 2 friends pass away, 2 physicians pass away. And I've spoken with people that have lost their family members or have lost friends. So it's definitely real, I think people should take it more seriously in our area.
Just to set perspective first, maybe you want to introduce first what you do in your community?
Of course. So Leading Marketing Solutions, as you mentioned, is a marketing consulting company. We work with business owners to help them get more exposure locally and online. We help them connect with their clients in live environments by doing live events, as well as doing online events where, especially now, we have to do online events, but it's still a platform for them to be able to show themselves as an expert and be able to, teach people, help people, especially now, just because there are so many people that have more free time than they usually do. And hopefully those people are taking this time to better themselves and to learn more, learn new skills. I know that a lot of people are kind of dealing with a lot of issues because we, especially business owners, have had a decrease in sales and revenue. A lot of businesses aren't even able to work anymore. Gyms have been closed, massage parlors have been closed, a lot of other businesses. And so there's definitely it's a gloomy time for everyone, but I believe that a positive mindset is incredibly important, especially now. And I feel like if you spend this time to really work on self-improvement or improvement of your business strategies, maybe thinking about how you can diversify the services that you're offering, or even the marketing strategies or other strategies that you're using to grow your business, so that if this ever happens in the future, we are all more prepared for it.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know you have several clients who's into medical care. How are they affected with the restrictions, if there is any, in regards to COVID-19?
Sure. So even our family business, we have a pediatric practice, seen a reduction of probably 50%. typically see 200 patients a day. We're now seeing maybe 90 to 100 patients.
Oh, okay.
It has definitely hurt us. It has definitely cut our revenue, especially since we have kept our entire staff. We definitely want to keep our entire staff through this. So the expenses are the same, but the revenue is half, so it's definitely hard. We have applied to all of the, payroll protection loans, the grants available, the SBA loans available. There, are local grants and loans available. So we've applied as many places as we could, and we have been told that we've been approved. So hopefully we'll get that help soon. And, I'm hoping that other medical practices have been kind of taking that same approach. We moved to telemedicine. We're doing as many visits as we can via telemedicine, and then for the patients that are coming into our practice, those are, the patients that are getting physicals, the patients that are still, that need wellness checks. They're not exhibiting any symptoms. They're not sick. So that's really what we're seeing in a lot of practices. Even physical therapy is doing telemedicine, which is not something that you would think,
Yeah.
environment, but they're doing it. Mental health counselors are doing it online. I think the ones that got hit the hardest are, of course, internal medicine practices and the practices that deal with the older population, just because they're more susceptible to the virus. So I know that they've had a much harder time going through this, even with, needing masks and not being able to find them, or needing, the tests, needing more, having a hard time because we are running out of supplies. And so one of the things that I've been doing is kind of being able to help people through this as far as sharing the resources that I'm finding. I have a lot of friends and professional connections that are, finding these supplies, or that know where to find them. So I've been using my social media platform and even just connecting with my live network and being able to share those resources with them, just because I feel like I have an advantage, just because I know so many people from networking and from being in this industry. So that's definitely something I've been focusing on. And that's something that I feel like businesses should definitely be involved in right now, is learning about all of the different resources that are available to them. Even aside from the financial resources, I mean, yes, of course, there's, the federal programs, there's programs that are offered locally, such as maybe, our Chamber of Commerce was offering loans and grants. There are companies that have stepped up, like, for example, Verizon was offering grants, so businesses that you may not think would be involved in this really, but they are, they're doing it. And so it's very important for people to do their research as far as what's available, nationwide, as well as just in their local communities. And then even aside from those, financial resources, that there are a lot of businesses that are offering their services, either at reduced rates or even for free. There are companies such as Google who offered a free $100 ad budget that was deposited into all of the accounts for Google Ads that were open in 2019. So, that's a way for you to market your business, and you have that there, so you don't have an expense, but you're able to drive traffic to your website or landing page. So there are a lot of resources out there, and it's really important to do the research to know what you can take advantage of right now.
We have also, you mentioned earlier that there are also massage parlors, barber shops who are closed, and these are other brick and mortar businesses out there who's also affected by COVID-19. In your own opinion, what are the other strategies that you can suggest to them that they should do, aside from the you mentioned earlier about the physical
The
therapy,
telemedicine, yes.
telemedicine?
So it really just depends. It depends on your business, because, like, for example, if you have a gym and, we were told that all gyms have to close, then there's not much that you can do aside from, again, moving to a virtual environment. And a lot of trainers that I know started doing exercise, videos where they're posting it on their social media, or they're doing courses, for that want to lose weight or want to get in shape. And so they're really using that virtual environment. I don't really know how a massage therapist can really, do that virtually. I don't think it's possible, but I feel like they should take this time to just strategize and work on, growing their network on social media, growing their network on, even Google My Business is huge, to be able to to be found organically on Google. Then, a lot of businesses don't even claim their Google My Business account, so that's something you should do. You should get on the social media platforms that maybe you've been meaning to get on, but you haven't yet, like for example, I never knew that Pinterest would drive traffic to my website, but my market, she was huge on Pinterest herself, and then she got us on there, and it's been traffic to our website, so you never know which platform will help. And so it's definitely important to try them out and to see where you will get results. For example, I'm doing a marketing campaign right now. I have a landing page where we're offering a 30-day accelerator program where we're basically, helping the businesses strategize, and we're helping them grow their social media network just by cross-posting them on our own networks, and then helping them with the content, posting it, being able to engage their network, then of course helping them with search engine optimization, bringing in other experts that can help us provide those services so that they can help the most. And so we work with a lot of different partners in the community and companies that provide services that are complementary to ours. So that's kind of my thing that we're pushing right now. And I have a paid ad campaign on Google, and then I have a paid ad campaign on Facebook, right? And then of course, I have my regular campaigns that are just driving traffic to my official website. So it's very important to track the performance of your ads. So when I went to check, and this was probably last week, this was last week, and I realized that the traffic to my landing page, I was getting, a huge amount of traffic coming from Facebook, from the ad I was running on Facebook, and my cost per click was 50 cents, and then the same ad that I was running on Google, my cost per click was $6. So you have to kind of see what works for the type of campaign that you're running. Now, on the opposite hand, Google is driving more traffic to my official website. So what I did was I stopped my Google campaign, and I put that budget that I was running, that was going to my landing page, I put it in my campaign that's going to my website on Google. And then on Facebook, I did the opposite. I stopped my campaign that was going to my landing page, and I drove them to my website. So you kind of have to see what's working the best, and then put your budget into, what's getting you the most results. And you can only do that by tracking the performance constantly, and having reports, having metrics. Data analytics is huge, because it really paints a picture for whether what you're doing is working or not.
There's some things that they should learn this time because these are really important stuff. So you already mentioned about optimization, landing page optimization. And to those business owners who's listening to us right now, this is the right time for you to really learn something new. So aside from learning something new about digital marketing, what do you think are the other things that entrepreneurs can do while they are at home? Because I saw a lot of numbers of entrepreneurs ranting online because technically their business is affected. But in your opinion, how can they maximize this time?
I feel like a lot of business owners are always going, going, going. They're the Energizer Bunny, and they don't get to spend time with their families, or they don't get to spend time with, their friends. So even though we're social distancing, but you can still, form a greater bond within your house, maybe spend more time with your spouse, your children, get to know them again, or even your friends. I mean, I have so many friends in New York that I don't get a chance to speak to. I've been on the phone with them, for hours, and just kind of catching up, which I'm not able to do in a, normal work environment. So I feel like, just reach out, or not form, but revive the connections that you may have lost while you're constantly working. I know that I have lost connections. I know that I have fallen out of touch with a lot of people just because you're working 12 to 14-hour days as a business owner. It never ends, you know? So I feel like take the time to really reconnect, and it's necessary right now because everyone needs that emotional support. Everyone's going through a rough time. You know, there's so much uncertainty, there's so much fear, there's financial struggles. So people kind of want to know that they have people on their side, you know? So especially if you're doing well and you're pretty stable right now, then you can be that, you know, strong person that's available to other people that maybe need someone to hear them out and to listen to them and to maybe provide advice. So you can do that, you know, you can be that person. Or even just, you know, charity, helping as much as possible. Again, you know, and it doesn't have to be financial. It can be just providing services. You have more free time, you know, you can help people. It's really as simple as I filled out all of these applications, you know, for the loans and grants that are available, and I learned the process. And it's really not a very complicated process. So I've been helping other businesses, you know, for free, helping them fill out all of those applications and kind of walking them through the process, telling them the options that are available. And it takes me 10 minutes. You know, it does not take me a lot of time, but for them, they haven't done that same amount of research that I've already done just because I'm helping businesses do this. So, you know, for me, it's something so simple. For them, it could be something that takes hours or something that maybe they don't even feel comfortable doing. So they could be leaving that money on the table that they can get, you know. For example, the Paycheck Protection Program, if you're using that money towards payroll, if you're using the majority of that money towards payroll, it can be forgiven. So it's not even a loan, it becomes a grant, you know.
Oh,
So
wow.
not take an
Yes.
hour to apply for that, you know?
Mhm.
So that's just one way. It takes me so little time, but it's something that is really helping people. And I feel like it's, you know, I'm not tooting my own horn here. It's just an example, you know? I feel like everyone can provide services that doesn't cost them anything, takes very little time, could make a huge difference for someone else, you know? So I'm definitely encouraging businesses and business owners while they have this time to provide services and to really, you know, yes, you want to be helpful, but as a business owner, you also remember that people will start seeing you as a helpful person. So it does help you in the long run as well. You know, it's good for you, it's good for your brand, and most importantly, it's good for the people that you're helping. So again, it goes back to the connections, right? You're forming a stronger connection, you're forming a stronger bond when, excuse me, when you're able to help people, especially when they're really struggling, especially when they're facing hard times, you know. So you want to be that helping hand, and it's gonna pay off in the long run for both of you.
Yeah. One thing that really struck me earlier was you mentioned two things which are really special, especially on occasions like this. You mentioned that we should add value to our existing clients, and the second is build warm relationship online, which I
Yes.
also took note. So can you expand on that so that they would also appreciate the value of those strategies?
Sure. So most importantly, I feel that you want to build connections offline and then you want to bring them online, right? Because if you meet someone at a networking event and then you go home, you're probably going to have a friend request from them. And then if you don't, you want to send that friend request. And so you're building your network that way. You know, you're bringing it from offline to online. And then right now, if we can't go to networking events, so we're not able to use that strategy, we really want to be just involved, you know, online. Like I use Facebook a lot. So on Facebook, I share content constantly. You know, I share educational content. I share content that we create as my company, of course, but again, helpful content, not content that is, you know, commercials or just pushing ourselves. Yes, we do that as well, because we want to survive, right? We want to still provide services at this time as well. But that's a small, you know, portion of what we post. I cross post my friends' posts or other posts that I see, you know, on my feed that I feel would be valuable to my audience. I'll definitely, you know, share that as well. So now you're bringing value to your audience and you're also bringing value to the person whose post you're sharing, right? So, and it takes you nothing. It takes a second to click share. right? So that's one way. Then there are so many social media groups. There are so many Facebook groups that I'm a part of, that everyone should be a part of groups, and especially in their local area, but also just online. There are so many groups for business owners, women business owners, healthcare business owners, so it really just depends on the industry that you're in, or on the audience and people that you want to connect with. And then definitely just, engage with them, post in the groups. If people are asking questions, answer them. If people are asking for recommendations and someone, take that time to post it. Comment on people's posts, again, share them, so you can definitely be involved online even right now. And then that, what you're doing now while you have more time will benefit you in the long run, even after this is done, right? Because the more people that you get on your social media, the more responses that you get. If somebody asks me, where can I get, masks, I go on my social media and I post, where can I get masks? And I will get responses. I will always get responses no matter what I ask, because somebody out there has an answer, right? So the more that you have on your platforms, the more value you will get, and also you will be able to provide, because you have more access to information.
Correct. Your thoughts are really insightful, and I hope those small business owners out there, or local business out there who's listening to us right now, be
Yes.
able to learn from all of the knowledge that you've shared to us today, Sonda. Sonda, one
Yes.
last word to all the local and small business owners who are listening to us right now.
Mhm.
Closing statement
Last word.
to everyone.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were still going. Yes. So um, take the time to, just grow, to have your business grow, as well as to just grow yourself. There are many self-development books. There's a book that I just read, and, most of the time I'm reading business books. I'm reading marketing or sales books or management books. And I was on Audible, and I ran across a book by Brene Brown, which was the Power of Vulnerability. And it was probably one of the most life-changing books that I've read, and I didn't expect it, because usually I'm like, self-development, not really my thing. I want to learn useful things that I can use in my business. But then that kind of really opened my eyes, because it just showed how people can form deeper bonds and greater relationships. And again, that's everything I'm about, right? Even in my business, it's about relationships, about forming friendships. So I learned so much that I hadn't considered before. And it wasn't a book that I would normally read, and I went on Facebook and I shared it and I said, this is a life-changing book. You should read it, so even just stuff like that, books that you read, share them if they were able to help. And then, of course, just read, be open, learn. It doesn't have to be books. So many articles online, so many courses online. A lot of courses are being offered for free right now. You just go online and you type in free courses on whatever you want to learn, you'll find something, or even just go on YouTube. So many videos of people teaching on their areas of expertise. So, definitely take this time. I think a positive mindset will be the one thing that really differentiates the people that thrive in this time from the people that, are required to close their businesses, or that really, really struggle. And that's not to say that it's a bad thing, because we're all struggling right now. And, that saying, for an arrow to launch, you first have to pull it all the way back, right? And the further back you pull, the further the faster they will go. So I feel like the people that really take this time to strategize, to learn, to improve what they have been doing before, to work on themselves, to work on the connections with people in their network that can help their business, but also just people in their network, just form friendships. Everyone needs support right now. Be that ear, be that helping hand, revive connections and friendships that maybe have been abandoned just because you're always busy. And then also just, find a way to make it so that this doesn't happen to us again. And I don't mean, things that are outside of our control. Nobody can control COVID, but insulate your business to minimize the risks of, this really, really affecting you as much as it is right now if something like this were to happen again. So diversify your services. If you're offering only services that can be provided face-to-face, learn how to use the virtual environment and the online platforms that are available to start providing different services so that if we get shut down again, we can still survive because we're already offering different services, right? Or if your main marketing strategy is a billboard, and right now, there's much less traffic outside, then learn how to use online advertising. You learn how to do paid advertising campaigns on Google or on social media, so that you are more protected from something like this happening again and it really affecting your business. And then I had one last thing, but I forgot it. That's really it. Just having a positive mindset, being able to diversify, and then, oh, there it is. I feel like this could really benefit businesses in the long run. Just businesses being able to figure out ways to work virtually, especially those businesses that have employees that maybe, they've been kind of against having them work from home, but would be an opportunity for them to see that, wow, yes, my employees can do this from home, And so if those business owners, even after COVID, still keep that virtual environment, whether it's fully online or a hybrid where, maybe some people are working from home, some people are working in the live, environment, or even if it's one person that works from home 2 days a week and then at the office 3 days a week, whatever it is. But it's been proven that productivity is higher when people are working from home. And, it kind of shifts from, okay, how many hours have they put in to have they reached the outcome that I need, right? Are they producing the results that my business needs? And then you could actually be saving, money because you're not paying them for every single hour and you don't know if they're being productive or not. Because they could be working a lot of hours, but they're still not producing what you need them to produce, right? They're not those goals. But here, if they're being compensated for reaching your goals as opposed to by the hour, then it will help your company in the long run. And then if they're not able to meet those goals, then that tells you that they probably weren't doing it before when they were working at the office. You know what I mean? Because the quality of work doesn't, change really. It still shows your work ethic. And then working from home, not only does it help productivity, but it opens you up to a much larger audience of potential employees because now you're not limited to just the people in your local environment, especially if you live in a smaller city. My marketing director is in Texas and I've never met her. We work so closely, she's my right hand woman. She does so much for my company. She's a huge asset. And again, completely virtually. And so I was able to find her and it was a benefit for her because she has a baby, so she's able to work from home at a schedule that's convenient for her because she could be working evenings, but as long as she's still completing the tasks that I'm assigning to her, it doesn't bother me when she does it, right? So she can be still taking care of her baby and then working and getting me the results that I need. And so that opens every business owner up to not just a larger pool geographically, but also to the candidates that maybe would not be able to work for you because they have a baby, so they can't come into the office. Because, maybe they're not able to find the support that they need to care for their baby, or a lot of people just aren't able to afford daycare, or they're not able to afford a full-time nanny. So for them, a virtual environment is huge, or even people that are taking care of their elderly parents or other people, they may not be able to work for you when you require them to come to the office, but they can work for you from home. Right. So that's definitely a huge benefit. And then they're saving time and costs on transportation required if they're coming to the office. And honestly, I believe that will help us because we're reducing pollution. Right. So there's so many benefits to working. And even before this, my team always works virtually. The only times I really see them in person is at our events. So that, we have implemented the system, and we have found the tools that we need. There are so many project management, collaboration tools that you use, and just be able to keep track of everything that's going on, and then you can see what your people are doing. You can do training online, as opposed to maybe you training, or your top employee training every single new hire. You can you can create a course, you can record the screen that you're working on and the actions that you're taking, and then just add that to your project management software. And when you bring on someone new, or even for your existing employees, you can say, hey, I put this training up online, why don't you go watch it, and then let me know when you're done, right? So then you did the work once, and you can train more and more employees without doing more work, unless of course things change, and then you just record a new one. I feel like that's a huge time saver. And I feel like, again, it goes back to boosting productivity, and here, not only your employees' productivity, but also your own, because it frees you up. So I think that this could be a huge benefit to us. I pray that it doesn't hit us, all of us, too hard. I pray that people remain healthy and safe, and that the amount of deaths isn't as high as has been predicted. I think that if we all take the necessary precautions and safety measures that we're being told to take, and we're not kind of rushing into getting back out there. I know that a lot of people are getting restless, and I also know that cities and states may be opening up right now. I truly feel that it's too early, and I really hope that people kind of take that into account, the fact that numbers are still rising, and the fact that we haven't reached our peak yet. So I truly hope that people stay inside, just because it's going to be crucial for all of us, right? Because if someone doesn't stay inside and someone's not following those measures, they're going to be infecting other people, and are the essential workers or our healthcare workers, they still need them, right? So now exposed. So you're not only endangering yourself, but you're also putting other people at risk. And I feel like that's unfair. So I think that we should all really take the necessary precautions, take this time to grow ourselves, to grow our businesses, to figure out the best strategies moving forward. And, just to use this as a launch pad to achieve greatness and achieve better results than, maybe we even were before we were put in this situation. When there are struggles and when there are challenges, it's really just about your mindset. If you're going to use it as a way to move forward, or if you're going to let it derail you and let it stop you from, achieving your goals. So it's all about positive mindset. That's what I'm going to leave this on.
Thank you very much, Sonda, for that priceless tips and actionable strategies. Definitely we'll be transcribing this so that everyone can get so much thought to it. But for me, I had already some of my points. Example, first, you need to have the right mindset to be able to see the opportunity that's been provided to us. Second,
Yes.
always bring warm interaction by providing value to people all around.
Yes.
So thank you very much, Sonda, to all the actionable strategies you provided. And I hope your strategies can help all of those local businesses who are really struggling right now pass this through hard times.
I really hope so too. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Looking forward to more conversations with you, Sonda.
Absolutely. Me too. Thank you. Stay safe.
VirtualPreneurs, live the great life.